Hello beautiful humans, welcome back to Everyday May. Today we are going fun, and today we're going to be using the new palette from MUA. This is the Kaleidoscope Extra palette. The second I saw this, I knew I needed it in my life. It was £12. From what I've seen swatch wise, the shades look gorgeous, but today we're going to play with it. I have got some other new bits from MUA, so I bought the orange lip line, and then I've got a orange cream blush and the cream bronzer to give a go today, and then some other little bits. We are going to start off, I caved. If you guys are regulars here, you will know I adore this Laneige glowy makeup serum, and it was on TikTok shop from Look Fantastic for like £16-17, and I was just like, do you know what, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. So I'm very pleased to have this back in my life. If you have got dry skin, this stuff is magical. So we're just going to pop a bit of this on, just so that can soak in while we're doing our eyes. A bit, she says, literally slathering it. And then I'm going to do a little bit of Beauty Bay eye base, because of course I am. Okay, so for science, I did actually pick up the original Kaleidoscope palette, which is this one here, and there will be a short up where I'm going to compare the two kind of a little bit more in depth, but I definitely think this is like a very basic rainbow colour story, whereas this is just a lot more elevated. There's some kind of fun shades in here. I don't know what I want to do. I'm thinking maybe a sunset, so some yellow, some orange, some purple. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure. Right, let's get a brush. I did actually pick up 3 of the MUA brushes as well, because I've never tried them and they looked really nice. So I think we're going to start with the large fluffy blending brush. I love trying new brushes. I will find the perfect blending brush one day. So we're going to start with this one. This is quite big, so I think, am I going to wing it out? Yeah. So I think we're going to start with the yellow, which is called Queen Bee. And we're going to start with this in the inner corner. We're going to use the large blending brush. This palette was £12. £12. And that is the yellow. Like, yellows are just notoriously a bit crap. But that is beautiful for like an affordable yellow. Incredible. So we're just going to leave that at that currently. We are going to blend into it. There's a sticky dot on the end of this brush. So these are 100% recycled synthetic, 100% recycled plastic handle, 30% recycled aluminium ferrule, which is amazing, especially for like such like an affordable. I think these were like, I want to say like £4 each, something crazy like that. Right, I'm going to take a smaller blending brush now, because I want this to kind of be controlled. I think controlled is the right word. So let's just wipe you off. This has got pink and black on it. It'll do. Right, we are going to start with the purple shade called Serve, which is this one here. And I'm just going to start lightly building up my crease with this one. Same. Again, purples. Notoriously hard to formulate. Not for MUA, apparently. I feel like I always loved MUA eyeshadows when I was very into neutrals, but I found like they don't do a lot of colour, and I don't just want to buy palettes for the sake of buying palettes, although some people may think that I do. I don't want to do that, so I've kind of skipped a lot of their recent releases, but when I saw this I was like, let's see if they can do colour as well as they can do neutrals. And thus far, I am pleased to report they can. This purple is so easy to use. It's blending so nicely. It's literally blending itself out. I'm just going to leave a little gap between the yellow and the purple so we can put a bit of orange in there. Does not look as good as the other one. Would it be a video with me if that was not the case? Okay, so that's beautiful. We're going to go in with Slay to deepen that up. Again, I'm going to use that same brush. This is like a duo-ended one from P. Louise. I don't know what shape this is in their normal line, but they do loads of kind of smaller blending brushes, which I really love, because I like to do looks like this. Stunning. Right, I'm going to take a different small brush. Another incredible budget friendly brush. These are Superdrug's like studio range. This is actually a concealer brush. I must have about 4 of these. I'm gonna take the shade Iconic. I'm gonna put that in between the purple and the yellow. That is so bright. Oh wow. Okay. Hello, pigment. It's nice to see you here. These are awesome so far. They're so smooth, they're blending so nicely. Big love, big love. So we're just going to start taking that back into the purple and making kind of like a rusty red shade. And then I'm going to go back in with the brush that we used Queen Bee on. A little bit of fallout in the pan, but nothing insane. And we're going to go back in with Queen Bee and make sure that is nice and bright. So that's what the crease is looking like. I am going to take, oopsie daisy, a larger fluffy brush. This one is a P. Louise E92. We're going to take the shade Empower, but I'm also going to mix it with the white, which is called Neutral. So we're going to do like 2 taps of white and then 1 tap of Empower. To kind of give us like a lighter pink, and I'm just going to blend the edges of the purple out with that lighter pink. I know some people are not kind of into having like blacks and whites in their palettes, but I love it for this exact reason. Like, I've just made a baby pink. There's no baby pink in the palette, but I felt like I wanted one to blend the purple out, and it was super easy to do it itself. Okay, this pink is stunning. Now I want to put some of this on. Not shaded out, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that was definitely a good plan. So I kind of put the baby pink down and then and just put the pink down, because why not? They're so cute. We're going to take the pink right into the orange, just so the kind of, we want the blend to like make sense basically. Right, I need a wipe. Okay, I'm just going to take a makeup wipe over my finger. I'm just going to clean this up, give it a sharp line. You can use tape so you don't have to do this. You don't, well, I mean, you don't have to do it anyway. But I just like a sharp line, personally. I'm kind of tempted to cut the crease today, I'm not going to lie. And as usual, this one. I'm going to take a Spectrum Katie Jane Hughes 19. I'm going to wipe it off because it's not clean. Of course it isn't. I'm just going to use Serve to kind of wing out both the outer corners a little bit more. Define them a bit more. Make them match a bit more, essentially. I really should have plucked my eyebrows before doing this look, but because it's gone right up to my brow bone, but you know, best laid plans and all that. Okay, and then I think I'm going to take a little bit of Slay, which is the dark purple mixed with the black, again on that Spectrum 19. And I'm just going to put that at this very kind of corner, and again we'll re-clean this up. I just want it to deepen that outer corner of the wing up a touch. Just like that. That black seems really nice as well. It was very pigmented, like I tapped very, very lightly into it before going into the purple, and it's giving me some really great pigment. I'm just going to give my eyelids a bit of a wipe. I'm not going to fully cut the crease. I'm just going to give them a wipe, just to take some of the shadow off. We're going to do a touch more primer. Across. Again, like I said, I'm not like fully cutting the crease, just kind of neutralising and making sure we replace the primer that we've taken off. Right, okay, what do I want to do shimmer wise? So there's not a whole lot of shimmers in the palette. We have That Girl and Expression, which are two, so this is That Girl, this is Expression, two neutrally shimmers. But the three, obviously, I want to play with are, we've got Diva, we've got Yas, and we've got Kaleidoscope. So, I think I'm going to use all three. First off, I'm going to kind of finish off the wing using Slay. So I'm just going to okay, we are going to take a flat brush and we're going to start with Kaleidoscope. I'm going to put this one. Okay, wow. That's stunning. This palette is £12. And honestly, I would put this up against any high-end palette any day. This is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. This shimmer shade is absolutely stunning. Wow. Okay. Right, we're going to take Diva now. And we're going to put that on the inner half. I do kind of wish there was an orange shimmer. Or like a peachy shimmer. This is just like an incredible like metallic, whereas Kaleidos is a little bit special. It's like a little bit glittery and a little bit shifty, whereas this is just like an incredible metallic shimmer, which I know a lot of people are like, I want multi-chromes and duochromes. I can very much appreciate like a good shimmer, like just nothing crazy, just a good quality shimmer. I'm just going to go back in with Kaleidos and kind of overlap those two and blend them. Not Kaleidos, Kaleidoscope, sorry. That shade is absolutely stunning. I'm obsessed with that. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave yours because we're going to put that in the inner corner. I'm going to leave that until I've done the rest of my face. So for my foundation, I'm going to use the Fine Flawless Finish foundation. I've got a wear test up on this one. Should have gone up on Friday. And I really, really like this so far. So today I wanted to try it kind of with my normal skin prep. So I've done my skincare and I've applied the Laneige Glowy Makeup Serum. So I'm just going to apply this with a brush. This is the Sephora number 6 multi-textures brush. Now this foundation does have a bit of a scent. It's kind of like, it smells a little bit medicinal almost. But I really like the way it wore last time, so I'm excited to see how it sits this time. But it definitely has like a scent to it, which I don't necessarily love. I did 2 pumps, which was definitely way too much. Last time I kind of did 1 pump and then built it up with another pump, so I would probably say that's an easier way to apply it because it's looking a bit thick. Sam being the hero of the hour and bringing me a sponge. It looked a little thick there for a second, but actually I think it was just too much product. I'm going to give it a little spritz of Skindinavia. I've just done it dry and now I'm giving it a little spritz just to make it a little bit moist, and I'm going to press anywhere that's still a bit thick into the skin. So yeah, I am a 2 pump foundation girly. Maybe don't just go insane and do 2 pumps of that one. Right, we're going to use the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. This is a recent purchase. I got it in the Sephora sale because I've wanted it for so long and I've always like put myself off it. I just thought, you know what, give it a try. If you don't like it, you don't like it, that's fine. It's really funny, like foundations, I'm like, oh, I don't mind spending like to test. Whereas concealers, I get a bit like, I think because I have my like holy grails, whereas I don't have a holy grail foundation. So I think with concealers, it's like, but you really like this one, and this one, so. but I've just heard so many good things about this one, it's kind of ridiculous. Okie dokie, just gonna do a tiny little set. I've been using this brush recently. It's one from Real Techniques. It's a 020 and I love it for powder because it's so, it's just so like sparse. I think it's actually meant to be for highlighter, but if you're like a dry skinned girl who does need a little bit of setting, doesn't necessarily want the kind of payoff of powder, I think this is a really great way to do it. So just set my nose, my under eyes. This is the Beauty Crop Vitamin Babe powder in pink. Right. Okay, now I'm excited. We're going to use the MUA blush, liquid shimmer blush in Amber Sunset. Since we'd got a lot of orange stuff, I thought this would be a good one. I've used this once, and I really liked it. Oh my god, why do you keep squeezing out? I'm not even holding you that tight. Oh. I'm going to use a masked stippling brush for this. There is way too much on my hand. These are quite pigmented. So my best like tip with these is to just take it slowly, build it up as you go. I love a lot of blush, but I think you don't, if you're not a massive blush person, you don't want to go too mad. I've gone too mad, of course I have. But this is such a pretty shade and it's so sheeny and beautiful as well. Yeah, so it definitely looks better. Okay, and then I'm just going to tap over it with the sponge because even for me that was a lot. Right. I'm gonna do a little bit of cream bronzer. This is the MUA cream bronzer. This is another one I've wanted to try for ages and just haven't. This is Cafe au Lait, which is like a cool toned colour. I thought it would be nice for kind of like a contoury type shade. Ooh, okay, this is really like shadowy. That is not something I'm going to be able to get away with in, well, much further into the summer. I think it's going to be too cool toned and I think it would look a little bit ashy, but if you're very, very fair, or if you're like alt and you like a very pale complexion with very like grey contour, I think that would be beautiful. I'm going to go over and warm it up a little bit. This is the Nabla Skin Glazing Bronzer in Soft Revenge. I wanted something a little bit glowy today. And for highlighter, I pulled out my Danessa Myricks Low Lighter, Low Key Blurring Balm Powder Low Lighter in Low Key, which is like a really pretty shimmery orange. And we're just going to kind of use it as a kind of top of the blush topper. Lip balm, one of the peptide lip oils, and the Hydra Juice Shimmer Lip Stylo. I am just going to go in with the lip oil for now. That smells good. It smells like oranges. So we're just going to go in with the lip oil for now while we do the rest of the makeup. Okay, I also picked up some half lashes. I didn't really know, in all honesty, that MUA did lashes. These are the winged half lash, and I picked up the lash glue to go with it because I've been on the hunt for a new lash glue since they ruined my beloved Duo lash glue about 1.5 years ago. I've just not found one that I love, so we'll give this one a go. Okay. These look nice. The band is clear. They look like they could be really like natural if you want them to be. What would be great is if I could get them out of the plastic, the lid off the little plastic. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So this lid was like stuck. So that's what the lash looks like. Nails. That's what she looks like. That looks really nice, actually. Like I said, clear band, love that. Makes lashes much easier, especially if you're like a beginner. Lashes are much easier when they've got a clear band. So the fact that these were super affordable as well kind of goes hand in hand. You're not going to be buying like a Lily lash when you don't know whether you even like lashes. Okay, let's have a look at this glue. Ooh, it's a brush tip applicator, which is my favourite because you can be precise on the lash. It stops it kind of getting everywhere. A lot of lash glues seem to have switched to like a plastic like spatula applicator, and I don't love that. My one thing with these is they're quite sparse. You do have to be gentle with them when pulling them off the packet. There's not a lot of lashes on the actual band, so I think if you were to lose a couple of lashes, it would be obvious. Right, let's give, does it tell me how long just allowed to become tacky? I hope this is not a quick drying one, because I hate quick drying lash glues. That is my main issue with the Duo one, because they made it quick drying and now it's just crap. Clear lash band. I love the way they look, but that lash band is a little bit thick. Which doesn't make it the easiest to get it to stick down. Especially the thing is with half lashes, because they finish on kind of the highest point of your eye, they can be difficult sometimes to get them to stick down. Like if you have a problem with your inner corners sticking down, you're probably going to have the same problem with a half lash. Okay. Are they my favourite lashes? No, they're not. But I think they look really nice, and for £3.50 I think they're like a good kind of lash to try. I'm just going to go in with a little tiny buffing brush again. I'm going to take a little bit of Serve and mix it with a little bit of Empower, which is the pink. I just want to kind of smoke this edge out a little bit. It's just looking a little bit too harsh for my liking. Right, I just bring some gems. Do I want to do gems? I'm also going to pop a little bit of the Glisten Spectra pencil in orange in my waterline. Have you guys tried these pencils? And what do you think of them? Because essentially I've been using the Made by Mitchell pencils for a while, and I just didn't think they were pigmented or they gave me enough like of a pow. So I picked these up expecting, because Glisten are so bright and incredible, that these would be like a gel kind of formula and very, very pigmented and really, really pop on the waterline. But they're not. They're like a traditional wooden pencil. I think they're more for creative makeup than anything. And I don't love how some of them look in the lash line. This one is a nice one. I really like the orange, but like the blue for me just doesn't like pop enough. The pink doesn't pop enough. So I'm on the hunt for the best colourful eyeliners for the waterline. If you have any recommendations, please let me know. Okay, I need to put something in these brows. They're not going to look any better, but you know, they're not going to look any worse either. Is it just they're not dramatic enough for me? Possibly. I like a big lash. I don't dislike them, they're nice quality, it's just not the kind of lash I would normally pair with a look like this, possibly. I think they would look really beautiful if you literally are the kind of person that just wears like lashes and brows in a day, like on a day-to-day basis, or they might look nice with like a minimal makeup look. I just think they get a little bit lost with such a big makeup look. Okay, covered myself in mascara. Good job, Cole. Right, I'm gonna do some freckles, I think. This is the Misguided Freckle Pen. Also on the lookout for a new freckle product, because obviously like Lottie London have just, I don't know what's happened with Lottie London, but they've disappeared. And I don't love this one, but I also don't think Misguided Beauty's a thing anymore. So if any of you have got any freckle product recommendations, I would also love those, because I love a faux freckle. I also do definitely prefer a like liquid, because I like to like kind of draw them on my finger and then pat them on, whereas with this like you just have to, I feel like they always end up a little bit too organised with this pen, because I just always somehow end up doing them in a pattern, and I don't want to do that. I want them to look natural. I do always take a sponge and just kind of bop over the ones on my nose, because I tend to go too heavy there. Just like that. Just so then they're subtle. I don't want them crazy. Right. Okay. We're going crazy with this look apparently. I've got some little orange gems here that we are going to stick on. If I can find the lash glue. I don't want to do these. I do like an inner corner gem, I'm not gonna lie. We did inner corner gems with the Pastel Roses Secura, so I'm like, do something different. Let's do, just put a little bit of lash glue down, and then using my long tweezers, just grab them and stick them on. Sometimes it goes really well and they pick up and they stick on super well, and then other times there's gems everywhere. It takes 15 hours. It really is just dependent on potentially the way the wind is blowing. I don't know. 2, 3. Yeah, that's cute. I like that. I'm just gonna do the same on the other eye. I just fling that and I don't even know where it went. This is why there is constantly gems everywhere, all over the flat. I've not even put any glue down. What am I doing? This is where there's gems constantly all over the flat. My favourite thing about gems is all you need is lash glue and a little bit of hope. Right, let's do the inner corner because I've just realised we've not done that. I've also not put anything under my eyeballs. So, I'm going to take a little pencil brush. This is Morphe R41. And I think I'm going to take Iconic, which is the orange, under the lash line. Yes, definitely a good colour. I don't love putting my little lash line shadow on once I've done my mascara, but needs must, I guess. That orange is iconic, let me tell you. And then we're going to take a P. Louise E91 and we're going to take that Yas shade, which is the light pink shimmer. And we're going to put this in the inner corner. That's pretty. Would it be better with my finger? Probably. Am I putting this anywhere near my eyeball? No. Just needs a little extra coat there. Again, like Kaleidoscope, this one's like a beautiful, like chunky shimmer. Oh, I love. Right, to finish off, I've got a wipe here and I literally still decided to do that on the back of my hand. We are going to do the shimmer lip stylo in Sweet Orange. Oh, yes, hello. Just to give that lip line a bit of structure. Definitely better. Alright, let's take this fringe down. Okay, that is the finished look. I am so impressed by this palette. It is awesome. Everything I'm wearing on my face is also going to be linked down below. They are affiliate links, so if you do buy this palette through my link, thank you so much. I love this. I'm so impressed with the quality. I mean, this could have been done with like an indie eyeshadow palette very easily. Like, I wouldn't have ever guessed this was done by a £12 palette. I love the way it looks. As I said, my comparison between these two will be going live the same day as this video, so go out and check that if you want to see how the original and the extra compare. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, hit subscribe, and if you want to make sure you never miss another video, hit the bell icon and YouTube will notify you when I post tomorrow for Everyday May. You've been fabulous, I've been Coleoftheball, and I'll see you next time. Bye!